Hello, welcome back. Toy Thursday with Johnny Tiger on September 8th, 2022. Look at this, we have quite a lineup today. We got the Terminator, we got Rambo, we got Steven Seagal, um, because it is National Actor Day. So now, some of these people, some may not be considered actors by some, but they've all made millions doing acting related job. So I thought I give you a nice little lineup of movie actors that I have in my action figure collections. I actually have more. I have Samuel Jackson as well, and Michael Clark Duncan, and a couple of others. But I really don't feel like doing a full lineup on my little kitchen counter. We don't have a lot of space. But before we go into today's episode, it's worthwhile for me to mention that today is a sad day. If you are from the UK, if you are in Canada, heck, I think you're anywhere in the world, you know what I'm talking about. Today, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, uh, left this earth and moved on. Um, Now, being Taiwanese Canadian, I personally don't have a lot of attachment to royalty and what they do and all that stuff. I don't um, really understand this fascination with royalty. Uh, but for all I have heard, that the Queen, nice old lady, and she's accomplished many impressive things in her lifetime, obviously. So, rest in peace, Your Royal Highnessy, Your Royal Highness, Majesty. See, I told you I don't really care for all that royal stuff. I don't really know all the proper terms, but whenever someone so influential and well thought of passed away, I think it is um, fitting for us all to just pause in what we have to do and give them that little bit of send off, that little 10 seconds of silence. And now that I've uh, done my patriotic duty and mentioned that, let's get back on Toy Thursday. And I have a cat here on the counter that's going to be uh, being a bit of a pest. Aslan is uh, being a bit camera friendly today. So if he blocks the view, if he kind of zooms in and out, like he is doing right now, I think all you can see is his fur. And now you can see the figures again because I just shoot him off the counter. But he'll be back. Uh, we'll just make the best of it. And it's going to be one of those episodes where it's going to be a bit choppy because as you guys can tell, I'm using a different counter setup because uh, we got some new things for the kitchen, and it totally took up the space that I've been using for Toy Thursday for the past 3 years. So now I have to try to find a new setup. Not that I'm bitching or anything, but anyway, uh, it is what it is. Okay, move on. So, National Actors Day. Like I said, we have a pretty cool little group shot here of Rambo, Sylvester Stallone, the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Steven Seagal from the movie Above the Law as a police sergeant, whatever his name was, Nico Toscani. Yeah, how did I know that? I never even watched Above the Law, but anyway, I did my homework. And most of you that can see the screen would say, "Hey, you're missing one guy. You keep mentioning Schwarzenegger, you keep mentioning Stallone, and you keep mentioning Seagal. Who's that guy besides Seagal? How come you're just glancing over him? Because he is actually our main focus of the day. Now, let me get this other gentleman off the counter so we can focus on our special subject for National Actors Day. Now, if I didn't know better, I would have thought someone made an action figure of Johnny Tiger. I mean, just look at this guy. Sunglasses, t-shirts, guitar, poofy, thick hair. Yeah, I mean, that's Johnny Tiger. Well, okay, no, it's not. But, spoiler alert, there is actually a Johnny Tiger action figure. I'm going to show that to you sometime when we roll out the Johnny Tiger documentary. Uh, so that's going to be a surprise. And how can you get a hold of one? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be really premium. Uh, there's only going to be like one Johnny Tiger action figure in the world. So if you want one, yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Uh, but hey, definitely show some interest if you are interested, and we'll see if we can get some made for that purpose. Um, but yeah, like I said, this guy is almost like an early rendition of a Johnny Tiger action figure. Sunglasses, thick hair, guitar, the whole work. But no, this is not Johnny Tiger. This is a guy who is way better looking than Johnny Tiger. This is actually actor Keanu Reeves playing a character named Johnny Silverhand in the video game uh, Shadowrun. Is it Shadowrun? Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077. So what is Cyberpunk 2077? Um, I don't really know much about it, honestly. I tried to read up on it, and it honestly doesn't sound very thrilling for me. But I hope the game does good. It was delayed because of COVID, but it has gained a bit of a following because it uses actor Keanu Reeves as one of the characters to portray one of the characters, Johnny Silverhand. So who is Johnny Silverhand? Well, like I said, I don't know much about the game, but I will give you a quick rundown of this character. Basically, um, the world setting for Cyberpunk 2077 is an alternate future where the world is ruled by a lot of big corporations, and they have their private soldiers, and they try to steal secrets from each other. And there's a lot of poverty on the street. A lot of people either have to become hackers and cyber warriors, or they have to become gun wielding thugs and mercenaries. Also, in this world, uh, there's things like cyber bionic body parts that you can get, such as in Johnny Silverhand's case. He has a cybernetic left arm that is quite interesting. While I personally do not know much about the game Cyberpunk 2077, this game does bring me back to the good old days, back in the early um, 2000s, around 2005, 2006. I was really big into the Shadowrun role-playing game. Now, for those of you who don't know, Shadowrun is basically that. It's basically Cyberpunk 2077 times 20, right? In Shadowrun, again, you're in a world where the world is ruled by big corporations, kind of like the kind of world you see in RoboCop. And so there's big corporations that try to take over the world, and then you have to play either a hacker or a techno mancer, a kind of guy that can control machines, or you can be a magic user. There's magic in that world, or you can be a mercenary, a soldier for hire with guns and cybernetic body parts and upgrades. Um, Stuff like that. I was really into Shadowrun role-playing games in the around 2006. So many times I still have fond memory today that I stay up until 5 or 6 in the morning just try to complete a mission with some of my friends online. We would stay up all night drinking whiskeys, smoking, or well, some of them would smoke or get high. I just did the drinking, and then we would just try to finish the storyline, finish the mission, finish the adventure, and then uh, we would go all night without sleep, and then we'd go to school and then or go to work after that. Oh yeah, those were the good old days. Almost living like real computer geeks. Um, yeah, a lot of fun memories in those kind of role-playing games. I don't have time or energy to stay up all night for that stuff anymore nowadays. But as soon as I heard about the Cyberpunk 2077 video game and the toys were going to be handled by Todd McFarlane, I was interested, even though I didn't know much about the game. And when I read up about the game, it didn't pique my interest either. But because this is a clear reminder of a time in my life that I was not necessarily happy, but I had a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun. And this character is just too much for me to resist. The character of Johnny Silverhand, played by Keanu Reeves. I mean, what's not to like? There's a guy named Johnny. Right there catches my attention. The guy named Johnny who plays guitar, wears sunglasses, have tattoos on his arm. Yeah, I still need to work on that part. And he has one robotic, really cool robotic left arm. And he's a uh, kind of a musician, rebel, former soldiers, and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, okay, I'm in. I don't need to know any more about the game. There's just this character alone, with this information is enough for me. But I can't do a Toy Thursday with just those information, so here is a little, relatively short, blurb about a guy named Johnny Silverhand. Johnny Silverhand, that's not his real name, but I can't remember what his real name was. Like John Robert something something. He was born in around 1987, I believe, and remember, that's not our world. This is in that alternate world where everything's gone to hell. So, anyway, he was born in Texas because, of course, why not? All the cool guys were born in Texas. And he grew up and he joined the U.S. Army. And then he deserted because he realized the U.S. Army was being used by all the big corporations to do their dirty work. So after he deserted, he changed his name, and because during the war, when he was in the army, he lost an arm. He got a new shiny robotic left arm, and then he learned how to play guitar. The technology in this world works so great that even when you have a robotic arm, that robotic hand works good enough for you to play guitar. That's amazing. Like we need technologies like that. How about we just stop developing nuclear weapons and try to go to outer space and actually put that money towards making body parts that actually work, eh? Just saying. So anyway, Johnny started calling himself Johnny Silverhand. He started a rock and roll band called the Samurai because, yeah, of course, when you're a cool guy born in Texas, ex-military, and you start a band, that band has to be called the Samurai, right? Um, and he started writing music and writing poetry, all the stuff to shit talk the government. Eventually, he got involved in some underworld activities because of money issues and because he's a rebel at heart. I mean, this is a guy who lost an arm during the war. I don't know what war they're talking about in here. Like I said, it's not real world stuff, so I have no idea what war they're talking about. But anyway, because he lost an arm in the war, and he has a lot of hatred towards the government, he would take part in underworld uh, gang activities that would basically put him in league with terrorists. So Johnny Silverhand was a musician and a leader of the band, and he was also a terrorist uh, member. And he would try to sabotage big corporations' computer secret and hack into their corporate stuff and so on and so on. There's a lot of computer stuff, computer jargon that we can just skip over. Long story short, Johnny Silverhand got himself killed, and his memory, his personality, and everything was uploaded into a piece of computer software. Now, all this happened before the beginning of the game Cyberpunk 2077. As far as I can remember, as far as I can understand, uh, during the game, you are now playing the role of a new upstarting soldier for hire, and it's your job to go steal some computer hardware or computer chip from a big corporation. And you and your partner got into some trouble, and your partner got killed, and as a last ditch, trying to complete your job, you insert the computer chip into your own head. Yeah, in that world, people can actually insert computer chip into their head because everybody have implant, like a chip reader. Imagine you have a card reader implanted behind your ear. That's how that world works. Everybody has something implanted in them. So, uh, when you implant this chip into your own head, something unforeseen happened. This happened to be the chip that the spirit of Johnny Silverhand resides in. And Johnny Silverhand, having such a strong personality, don't forget, he's an ex-soldier, he's a musician, he's a rebel, he's a terrorist, took over your mind, sort of. And for the rest of the game, you kind of have to live with multiple personality issue. Keep hearing Johnny Silverhand in your head, giving you advice, telling you what to do, trying to get you killed and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a very trippy kind of setup. Like I said, I read about it and very quickly forgot most of what I read because it just was a little bit too weird for me. So unless you play the game Cyberpunk 2077, I imagine by this point you're all confused. So let's just keep it simple. Who is Johnny Silverhand? Johnny Silverhand is a guy named Johnny who has only one arm. The other arm he lost during some war when he was in the military, and he's replaced with a robotic arm. That's why he's called Johnny Silverhand. He plays guitar. He talks shit about the government. He does some naughty stuff. He's a terrorist, and uh, to some people, he's a hero. Um, Looks pretty cool, and he's played by Keanu Reeves, and he spent most of the game being dead, being a ghost, and tormenting the main character of the game. There, that's basically who Johnny Silverhand is. Um, yeah, uh, at least the action figure is really quite cool. Like I said, he's made by Todd McFarlane. He came out during the beginning of the pandemic, and this is one of those characters that because it's Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is known for playing action roles like Matrix, like John Wick. So he need to be able to pull off some cool martial art poses, even though Johnny Silverhand as a character mostly just play guitar and I mean, he shoot people once in a while, but he doesn't do a lot of martial artsy stuff. But hey, it's Keanu Reeves, so he need to be able to pull off some martial art move. And luckily, this action figure is very well articulated. that he can get into almost any martial art move that you want him to. Want a cool Muay Thai elbow strike and knee strike pose? No problem. He can do that. Want a karate style side stance? No problem. He can do that too. How about a nice dynamic side kick? Or this nice generic Krav Maga MMA style fight stance? Yeah, he can do a lot of that. But like I said, uh, he's not really a martial art character, even though the guy who plays the character is known for all this martial artsy stuff. Johnny Silverhand is known for drinking, playing music, shooting people, causing trouble for the government. So, to help him accomplish that, we have, of course, his trusty guitar. The guitar comes with a strap so he can carry it around his neck and get into some really cool guitar playing poses. He also comes with an extra hand for his left hand, so he doesn't have to always get that devil horn finger gesture. But I have no idea where I put the extra hand, so I just know that he comes with a normal looking, well, it's still a robotic hand, but in a more normal gesture or normal posture. And last but not least, he comes with a bottle of alcohol that he can uh, have a swig when he's playing music. In the end, even though I personally know very little about the game, never played it, never even watched the trailer, like I said, the character's design alone, a guy named Johnny, wearing sunglasses, with tattoos on his arm, and playing guitar. That's enough to get me interested. And after all, it is Keanu Reeves. So with that, we come to the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the angles were not too wacky, and I hope it's uh, understandable. Uh, we'll be back again tomorrow for some Fitness Friday. For now, have a good night.